Alrighty, we are officially recording.
Okay. Welcome to the Garlic Boys podcast. You bake it. No, that's not the right intro. Where friendship. I don't know the intro. Why did you put this pressure on me right before the show, man?
What do you mean? This is your reward.
This is my reward.
You're getting to host today.
Welcome to the Garlic Boys podcast, where great friendship meets garlic, and I hope you enjoy the garlic bread that we're about to knead, bake, and eat. I'm your host, Jason Momoa. I will be your host for the week.
And I am your other host, 14-year-old Matthew Haux.
And joining us this week is my lovely sister, Amber.
Hi.
Hello.
That's it.
That's it. You don't have anything fun to add.
You don't know the intro?
No.
Hi, welcome to the Garlic Board podcast, where we treat friendship like a good recipe treats garlic. I'm your host, Connor O'Connor, and I'm Matthew.
Dude, look at you go.
Dude, you just got schooled.
I live this show. And you.
I listen every week.
You'd think
Wow.
Matt would listen every week, considering he does this every week.
You would
think.
I mean, I experience it with every podcast. I experience it at least twice because I record it and then I edit it. Except last week's, we talked for so long with the guys from Small Beards, Big Opinions. I had to edit it twice because I had to do an initial scrubbing of things, and then I had to get it even more condensed. So I was just pulling out bits.
It was so long. It was so long.
We had an hour and 47 minutes of material with them.
Good.
Wow.
Which I will be posting those bonus clips on the Patreon. So if you'd like to see everything that we took out from that last week's episode, you go on to our Patreon at patreon.com/thegarlicboys, and you can listen to all those extra bits.
Yeah. I'd like to be a Patreon. I just haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
Well,
But I do listen every week.
Listen, not
Except last
everybody is clever enough to sub to our Patreon.
You're way too early. There's so much for us to still talk about.
You know what? You're right.
It's just itching.
You're right. So how did you get that picture behind you, Connor? Me with a very convincing Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, this is just me, you and Amber Heard here, hanging out. I found this on your Facebook today because I knew your sister was coming on, so I thought it'd be funny to pull a picture from when she knew you and I didn't.
Yeah.
And this is one of the earliest pictures of you on your Facebook profile pictures. There's actually a picture of your face.
Did you not see the one where I'm standing in the water with the Perry the Platypus shirt on and I'm standing there like this? You didn't see that one? That would have been so good.
I thought this was better mainly because of just how out of it you look.
He's probably out of it from heat stroke.
There's not a single thought behind
in the middle of
eyes.
summer.
I wore beanies almost religiously, and that beanie with the brim was the style for at least my age.
I can't knock him for that, Amber, because I typically am wearing a beanie for these records.
Yeah,
I just forgot it in my truck, and I didn't feel like going and getting it.
I look like the Wish version of Ryan Sheckler. That's what I look like. Okay,
if I knew who that was,
only the 2008 Skater Boys will get that reference. He was on Tony Hawk's Project 8, Amber.
Yeah, which we played religiously.
Religiously.
What was it? The bone breaking game?
Yes.
Throw yourself off. That was literally the best.
There was literally a challenge in the game where you would attempt to break and rack up hospital bills. As much as you could. Right. You would literally go super fast and then you would just collapse and then you'd have to press a button to keep rolling and breaking bones and stuff. Wild game. That was so much fun.
That was actually a really good game.
I think we had Pro Skater 3, maybe 4. I don't remember, but they had a very similar challenge to that.
Yeah.
And then I was always impressed about how messed up I could be, considering I was
die
trying to do an ollie because I couldn't figure out how the game worked.
Didn't mom be like, why are you guys playing that? That is horrendous.
She actually, like, when we were younger, I guess, in video games and stuff where there was blood and gore, which that game had, you actually had to go in the settings and turn the blood off, or she would not let
and
you
we
play
were
it.
only allowed to listen to a handful of songs, and one of them being Ice Cream Headache.
Yes, we had to go through and like deselect all of the songs so that
that had swearing or
and
anything.
And the Ice Cream Headache was like, I got an ice cream headache. Like, that's the whole song.
Ice cream headache. Yeah, and then he's like, gonna make a sundae, gonna make it big. Don't want to eat it fast. Don't want to be a pig. Literally.
The soundtracks from those games back then, though, were impeccable.
They were
like,
so
I remember
good.
we had a motocross game of some sort, and like you could do monster trucks or you could do like dirt bikes out like in the desert, and I liked doing that one. And that's actually where I discovered Reliant K.
Yeah,
because they had college kids on the soundtrack, and I was like, this song slaps. And I set it down to be that and Paralyzed, just on repeat, going back and forth. Those were my 2 favorite songs.
When I played Thug 2, Tony Hawk's Underground 2 for the Uncultured, I listened to just Johnny Cash Ring of Fire. Like, that was the whole thing, was literally on loop. Johnny Cash Ring of Fire. I deselected all of the songs. I think Amber might be frozen.
I think she is as well. I wanted to check in. Amber, can you still hear us?
You froze. Amber, you froze. You are frozen.
How can you be frozen? You are on beat.
Okay. Yeah, I have no idea what happened. It just literally just took a dump for no reason.
That's okay. That's fine.
I mean, if you didn't want to be on, you could have just said that.
No, I really want to.
Well, you must have had a really clever fix.
Dude, I want to talk about this.
Then why didn't you bring it up, dang it?
Because we were talking about video game soundtracks. Like, it's really fun. Okay. I had an epi-pen.
Hey, congratulations. You have only been trying to get an epi-pen for your entire life.
Yeah. And so I should have brought the trainer one. This is actually one of the real pens. So
don't stab yourself.
First of all, it came in this fun little tube.
Good.
So that you
no
can protect
accidental
it.
stabs.
But you can't accidentally stab it because you got a little protector boy here.
Oh.
So
okay.
the tester comes, it's basically the same thing with the tab on the top and then the button. I was showing my brother this when I got it, just so like he could feel familiar with how to use one of these in case I die or I'm about to die. And so I took the tester. I was like, you remove this part, you slam it in my thigh, and then you push down the button. And I pushed down the button, and he just looks at me with like a panic in his eyes that I don't typically see from him, and just went, "Did you just dose yourself?"
Oh my goodness.
You're like, I want all the adrenaline.
I want it all.
I could see shapes and colors that your brain could only think.
You might
that
say
didn't make any sense. It's really hitting.
You might say that it makes you even more clever.
Sure, just start the quiz. You're forcing it so hard.
Not as fluid as some other episodes.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm not exactly used to running the show here, and I'm not particularly fond of it, if I'm being honest.
To me, you're not particularly clever. Speaking of clever,
got him. Speaking of clever, this quiz.
Do you want me to say?
It's a big Great White Quiz. That's the name of it. I didn't come up with the quiz name. It's all about sharks.
Yay!
Yay!
What do you mean you didn't come up with the quiz name?
No, I came up with the quiz. I just didn't come up with it. You know what? The quiz title name is Shark Week. It's Shark Week, baby.
Yes.
Because it's gonna be Shark Week at the end of this week.
I thought
when this
today was
episode releases. Yeah, sorry.
Isn't like the 23rd? That's the beginning of Shark Week, right?
It is.
Yeah. Jason Momoa is the host this year. That's why I got Jason, my boy Jason, right here.
And it's taking place in the Caribbean.
Oh yeah, nice. I have 5 questions for each of you.
Okay.
Of varying ranges of difficulty. This is, for those of you who remember, this is my comeback. This is my comeuppance quiz. This is my get back at Connor for all the heinous quizzes he's given me over the years quiz for Connor.
No,
over the years.
It's not even been a year yet.
well, I was like,
well,
have I wronged you in the last 7 years?
We've been friends. We've been friends for years. I'm sure he's quizzed me or something.
Oh, I could just see him coming in like, "Hey, hot take, clever boy quiz, Maddie."
I do have one question for Amber before we start. As you've told us, you're an avid listener of the show. Quizzes are your favorite part. Do you have a favorite quiz that we've done so far?
So the animal ones are probably my favorite. Like, I forgot what it was exactly, but like
Who's
the
bonier?
name. Yes.
The bonier one was pretty rough, not gonna lie.
And then I did like the comic ones, even though like I knew absolutely zero of it. But
Same.
it was still really cool to learn. For sure.
Yeah. So I like it when he's like, I don't know those things, and so I give him a quiz on the topic he knows, and he still gets it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Connor, you know what? No, I'm sorry. I'll start with Amber.
Oh, okay.
Amber, this is going to be a true or false question, just for you.
Okay.
True or false? Sharks are not apex predators.
Connor
is looking at me. It is false. Sorry, I should have said final answer. Yes.
Oh, final answer.
It is false, and I gave you that because it actually has been on an episode before. Connor actually gave on the omnivore, herbivore, or
I love that one when you couldn't think of a green lizard.
Yeah. Yeah. So
what was fun with me about that quiz is the next week when he couldn't name a single omnivore that we talked about.
Yes.
And one of them was an elephant.
I forgot elephant was one of it now, but I just remember I was like, the green lizard. Like, you had a whole discussion on why it was green because it was.
I know. I don't have a good brain, but that's okay. Amber got the first one right. Woo! Woo! Yay! Clap track. Are we gonna insert that here? Okay. All right. Good. Connor,
are you doing a cheer?
Yeah. It's like one of those like,
and the crowd goes wild.
Exactly, like a touchdown, but got the first answer correct.
Connor, how many species of sharks are there currently? There are approximately 143 under threat right now. So you can assume it's probably bigger than that.
When you say approximately, are we doing within like 50?
Ooh, that's a big jump. I'd give you, because it's like a pretty solid number, I'd give you like maybe within 20, plus or minus 20.
1,468.
1,468 species of sharks. Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Click, click. I don't have any pens at this house yet, so I just gotta have to. That's incorrect.
Yeah.
There are approximately 500 species of sharks currently.
So close.
You were so close.
So close.
A good like 900 off. It's fine.
Plus or minus.
Can I tell you my favorite species of shark?
Yeah.
It's a shark that has never been captured on film or footage. It is the cookie cutter shark.
Yes.
Those are cool.
Same.
And it's basically a theoretical shark, but all they know about it is it will bite onto larger animals like larger sharks and whales and get like a perfect circle bitten out of it. And so like they theorized what it looks like, how its mouth is shaped and everything. And I just think it's so interesting how we can know something exists but not have a photo of it.
They actually, I thought they did have a photo
Did they?
of dead ones, and they were able to actually look at the jaw formation of the dead ones.
That's awesome.
Because so I think it's the lower jaw is the one that has like the majority of the teeth that come up.
Oh, that's thick.
Yeah,
they're
very
not big
small.
Either. Yeah,
and they also said that they're very hard to see because I want to say that they were like when they're alive, the coloring is very, very different than when they're dead.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't remember for sure. I feel like I remember hearing that on one of the episodes of Shark Week of the 20-something years it's been around.
It's got wild eyes.
Yeah.
They're cool.
We should post a picture of that.
Yeah, post it along with the video. Can you do that? Can you post a video and a picture?
I can throw the picture in to the video, yeah.
Oh, yeah, throw it into the video. That works.
Or did you mean like on Instagram when we post the reel?
That's what I didn't know if you could do like a reel and a picture, like as part of the post. Like if you just swipe. I don't know how reels work.
I think I can.
I don't know how Instagram works. I don't post on Instagram. Amber, question number 2.
All right, let's have it.
You got this. Are most sharks warm or cold-blooded?
Most sharks are cold-blooded. No, wait. Cold-blooded. No.
Is that?
Hold on. Let me think this through. I got to pull a mat and I have to think this through.
Okay.
I don't know if I can think through out loud. Okay. Oh, like I just feel like all of my knowledge has just left my body. I'm channeling Matt right now.
Thank you. I'm not the only one.
I'm gonna go cold.
Okay,
Cold-blooded final answer.
Click, click. That is correct.
All right.
That is correct. Amber, 2, Connor, none.
I knew you were going to do this, and I'm so upset.
Connor, on what part of a shark's body are the apillae of Lorenzini located, which are special electroreceptor organs that allow sharks to have a sixth sense?
Are you proud of yourself?
Yes.
Matt, can you steal? If he doesn't get it, can you steal it?
You know what? I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
It gives them a sixth sense.
It does.
So everyone knows the sixth sense. The five senses are seeing, hearing, thinking, believing, and dance. And so
you're remotely close. Okay.
And so the sixth sense would probably be some way of like regulating temperature and like understanding water currents and things like that, which like electromagnetics will let you do. And if you're gonna like sense the water, you'd probably think like dorsal fins or your little extra fins that are underneath your big fins, right? No, it's on their gills.
It's on their gills.
It's on their gills. Final answer.
Final answer. Click, click. Connor, that is incorrect.
Sharks weren't my special interest growing up, okay? Such a cool, but they weren't the thing that I was obsessed with.
Me, I was.
Amber, would you like to steal?
Okay. Yes. It is, I would say, so like here's their little snout. It's going to be like right here. The nose and on the top right there.
Amber, that is correct. That is correct for an extra stolen bonus point.
Can I just start naming facts about sharks to get points?
No. Amber 3, Connor 0, just to keep the audience updated on the score. Amber.
Can I steal from her, or does it only go for her to steal from me?
If she gets it wrong, yeah, I guess.
Oh, yeah, and I just forgot you're giving her elementary level questions, so she's never going to get it wrong.
Well, I answered yours.
Oh, Amber.
Oh. Okay. Amber, true or false? Sharks do not have bones.
That is kind of a trick question, and I don't know how to answer it because
if you can explain to me why it's a trick question, I will tell you whether you're right or not.
Okay. So most of their body are made up of cartilage except for their jaw and their teeth, which are technically bone. And also some species of shark, their vertebrae, the megalodon, that they have found vertebrae.
Oh, megalodon ain't real? Come on.
So that's what I'm saying is I don't want to answer. I know that it's probably the answer is. Wait, what? Can you repeat it again? Because I actually just forgot from my explanation over here.
True or false, sharks do not have bones.
So considering, so the answer would be they do not have bones. But yeah, final answer.
So true. True, they do not have bones.
True.
Okay. Final answer?
Final answer.
That is correct. If I remember right, were teeth considered bones when we were talking about bones?
No, that's why that when we did Who's Bonier, sharks didn't have bones.
Teeth
yeah.
are
well, that's what I'm saying.
not.
Yeah, but that's what they find in the whenever you're looking for a shark. But like I said, the megalodon that they did, not all of them, but sometimes they'll find the vertebrae, but not always.
Yeah.
The teeth, most teeth aren't technically considered bones. When you're speaking of like with humans, the 206, they're not considered bones. And the jaws themselves aren't fully thick enough to be considered bones. That's typically why they consider them mostly cartilage. And that's why when we did Who's Bonier, which Matt remembered and actually put this question in here just to infuriate me, the answer was they had 0 bones.
Isn't it great?
Well, it's good because it did almost trip me up.
Good, but still, you got it, and Connor good to steal.
Sorry, Connor.
This is so great. Connor, what is the best way? What is the best way to immobilize a shark?
You punch it in the nose. Actually, you know what? No, best way, shoot it through the brain, because then it's dead.
That's
some bad hat, Harry.
If you want the survival tip, if you're getting attacked by a shark, you should punch it in the nose.
That's your final answer.
Yeah.
Connor, that is incorrect. I'm so sorry. So punching it in the nose will distract it, and usually punching it in the eyes and nose will allow it to will distract it enough to release if you're being bit by a shark or chased, I guess. However, and that's mostly because of their electroreceptors.
Correct.
However, the best way to immobilize a shark is to flip it upside down on it. Oh, Amber, I should have let you steal. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
You're way ahead. You can't lose anyway. Is to flip it on its back. It actually puts it in some sort of trance-like state.
Tonic immobility.
There you go. Look at that. I really should have let you steal so it would be more of a shutout. That's my bad. But you know what? You knew the answer. I'll give you the point. I'll give you the point.
No. I didn't answer it. No. I don't.
Well, take the point.
It's because
because
I didn't ask you to answer it. It is all my fault.
It's okay.
Okay, fine. Okay, Amber, this is your question. True or false? All sharks bear live young.
That is false. Final answer.
Final answer?
Mm-hmm.
That is correct, Amber. Care to explain why?
Because there are some sharks that lay eggs, like they're like encasings that are also called mermaid purses, is what like we grew up calling them. And yeah, and some even will live birth, or like they'll have, I think it's the bull shark or the tiger shark, that they'll actually, there's an umbilical cord attached like humans, and like they have two different chambers of like where they have the pups. And
fascinating.
Yeah, and so like they do a live birth that way, or which I'm pretty sure the bull shark is the one where the first one hatches and cannibalizes and eats all its siblings. So
that's lovely. Lovely to hear. Connor, how you feeling over there, buddy?
When we were doing the production side of this and scheduling out when Amber would be on, I asked you if you'd be willing to have her on and do this quiz. Before I asked you that, had you had the thought, because you knew your sister that was an expert in sharks, apparently,
no,
would be coming on, did you have the thought, hey, let's make this a quiz about sharks?
Yes. Yes. Entirely.
And not only do we not ask Connor the easy questions, or the questions that he probably would know the answer to, being an enthusiast at best, but instead you ask your sister that's apparently a marine biologist the easy questions, while I try to figure out the shark census.
Well, okay, so it was probably my fault, because like I've kind of been asking Matt, I'm like, hey, ask Connor to let me on the show. And then I had messaged him at one point. I was like, hey, I have a topic. And it ended up being the one about the sitting and, the whole bathroom thing debacle. I don't want to get back into that.
How you wipe.
Yeah. And I just thought it would be hysterical. And then I messaged him and I was like, hey, Shark Week's coming up. So it'd be cool if I could get on before Shark Week, because that would be my topic.
And instantly,
I am obsessed with sharks.
Instantly, a plan brewed in my
devious
little head.
But I did not. I had no idea that this was even going to happen. He just told me that he was going to do a quiz about sharks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm enjoying this so much right now. Okay, who are we on? Connor? I believe we're on Connor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Connor, this is an easy one. It's a true or false question.
Sure. Yeah.
You had a 50-50 shot. 50-50 shot. True or false? Every species of shark have to keep moving in order to get oxygen through their gills.
False.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Click, click. That's actually correct. Good job, buddy. You got one.
It's a myth that all sharks have to keep moving. I do believe there are some species that move even while they're sleeping, but not all of them do. I know there are some that actually will rest on the sea floor.
Yeah. Some actually have this thing called a spiracle. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. That allow them to pull water into their respiratory system while at rest and not moving. Pretty cool. I didn't know that.
That is. You didn't?
No.
There's this there's a cave called the Cave of the Sharks. Sorry, Connor, I don't mean to be a
I got a question. Which university did you get your shark degree in?
Baby Shark do.
Have you ever watched there's a game show Baby Shark do University.
Do you know my history with Baby Shark, or did you just bring it up? Okay, cool.
Okay, there's a TV show on it's a game show called Masterminds on the Game Show Network. And it's literally like these insanely smart people who know way too much. Like Connor, you'd be good on this show. Who knew way too much, And then after just about every question, and they get it right, one of the masterminds gets it right, they actually go into like an explanation. This is very reminiscent of that, and I love it.
Sorry.
If I'm correct about what show you're talking about, they all select a specialist subject. So for Amber, it would be sharks. For Matt, it would be what, spoons? I don't know. What is your specialist subject?
I don't have a specialist subject. I'm an idiot.
No.
Certifiably, yes.
No, you're probably like one of those people that just knows a little bit of everything.
A jack of all knowledge. Yeah.
Jack of all trade, a master of none.
Yeah, a jack of all knowledge. That's what I was getting at. Go on. Is that it? Is that all you?
So I interrupted you while you were explaining the spinacopita or whatever
The
shark
spiracles,
has.
the cave of sharks or whatever.
The cave of
Amber?
sharks.
Oh, yeah. So the cave of sharks, that there's like a vent that actually pushes water, air through. And so bull sharks and all kinds of sharks who normally need to keep swimming to stay alive can actually rest on the bottom floor. And
Because it's
there's
pumping
enough
it to them.
Yep, there's enough pumping through it for them to actually be immobile.
That's really cool. That is
And
really
there's
cool.
like 50 sharks or so typically that go down there. Or like you can dive down and see it.
And just guessing what I know about, animals in the world, is the cave of sharks in Australia, because that would make perfect sense.
To be fair, I actually cannot remember. I want to say it's in the Caribbean. I don't know. I'm actually going to look that up real quick.
Because you can't tell me you wouldn't be surprised if you went to Australia and they're like,
absolutely.
Mexico, actually.
Here's our giant mouse that will fight you. Here's a spider that will kill you from 3 feet away. And here's our naturally occurring pit of sharks.
So it's actually called the Cave of Sleeping Sharks or something like that.
And it's in Mexico.
Is it? Is that where it was?
Yeah.
Oh, it is Mexico. Okay. I don't know. I was thinking it was somewhere it wasn't.
That's all right.
I bet that name sounds super cool in Spanish.
Don't ask me.
The Cave of Sleeping
Spanish
Sharks.
Speaker here.
I am not a Spanish teacher. I just am learning.
Yeah, she's a professor of shark anatomy.
Go get Javier and ask him.
Well, I know the word for sleeping. It's duermiendo, and the word for shark is tiburón, but I don't know what cave is.
Google
Translate. All right, we got this. We got this cave of sleeping sharks.
Cave of sleeping sharks. Yes, thank you for translating that into English.
English to English.
La cueva de los tiburones dormientes. I'm just going to copy and paste this into the
group chat, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe Amber can help us out with the pronunciation. That's good. In the bottom right-hand corner, it should be. Okay.
Considering I struggle to read English, and now we're having me read Spanish.
Trying to read Spanish.
There we go. Oh no, it didn't do it.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not seeing anything.
There was a button for copy translation. I got it. Okay.
La cueva de los tiburones durmientes.
There we go. There we go, listeners. Now
May not be the best accent going on there, but that'll do.
Hey, it was much better whenever I just did.
Much better.
I've been to Mexico too.
We're on question 5 for Amber.
Okay.
Question 5. What is the average lifespan of sharks?
I hate you and everything that you stand for.
Connor, if she gets this wrong, you do have a chance to steal. Just so you're aware.
So the number 50 is what's ringing a bell, but that is probably false. So I'm just going to cut it in half and say 75.
Cut 50 in half and
well,
say 75?
100. Well, in my brain, my ADHD brain.
Oh, I was like, what math are you talking about?
But sea turtles apparently live to be 150, according to Finding Nemo. I don't know. This one I forgot.
And just this is the average lifespan of like
every single species of shark.
Some species do live a lot longer. Some species do live a lot
the Greenland shark
shorter. Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
Is this including the megalodons that are hiding underneath that warm water layer in that we learned about in that documentary that Jason Statham made?
Yes.
The Meg. No,
it was a documentary. It wasn't a movie. It was a documentary.
A full documentary. You're right.
We're talking about the approximately 500 species of sharks that live today, not including megalodon or any.
So I'm just gonna go with my original gut answer and just say 50. Final answer.
Final answer.
Yeah.
Amber, you finally got one wrong.
I know. I was it 75. Oh wait,
it is actually. Go ahead.
I'll let Connor.
Yeah, Connor, steal
it. This doesn't bode well for me at all. Because I was going to say 57. I'm gonna steal the answer that you were thinking of. So I'm gonna go halfway as well and go with 75.
Still not how halves work. That is also incorrect, Connor. I'm sorry. The approximate age of I guess the average age of sharks is actually only 20.
Oh.
It's about 20 years. And again, highs and lows there, but the average age is about 20 years.
I've just never looked up average ages of sharks. So probably why I didn't know that one.
That's okay. You still have 5 points.
You're telling me we're older than sharks?
Some sharks, yes.
It's just wild to me because I think of great white sharks that like are not mature. Like I forgot how many years before they can actually start reproducing. Like
yeah. Oh yeah, it's like they're one of the longer living, I believe.
Yeah, and that's why I was like,
but I believe it's some of the smaller ones tend to not live as long.
Yeah, which brings down the average.
Yeah. But that's okay. You're still currently 4 ahead. I think Connor has 1 point and you have 5. So sitting pretty solid.
So this last question is worth 5 points.
I see. I want to make it so you can win with this last question if you got it. But the chance that you just guess right.
Come on.
See, this is supposed to be a punishment for you.
No, a reward for me. It's a reward for you. That does not make it a punishment for me.
I have been enjoying seeing you squirm over some of these questions. So I think I've been rewarded. So I will allow it that this will give you 5 points. Sorry, Amber, but if he gets it, it means he wins.
All right. But when you gotta one up somebody, you better do it.
Feel good. Feel good with it in mind that you literally answered just about all of your questions right, except for one, and also answered some of Connor's questions right.
You stole 2 of my questions.
Well, technically, if I would have went with that one of the tonic immobility, I still would have beat you, even if this one was worth.
That's true.
But it's not because I didn't accept it. But like an honorary point for me, knowing that even if you get this, I'd still beat you.
Yeah, we'll do that. I like that better.
It's like she's actively trying to hurt my feelings, Matt.
No, I just giving you the same energy.
Is this what it's like to have a sister?
This is what it's like to have you, Connor. This is what you do. Okay, last question, Connor. Approximately how much force does a shark bite produce? And I'll let you get it within I will determine. I don't want to give the answer away. So I will determine based on your answer if it's close enough.
Can I phone a friend?
No.
Okay. But what if I loudly reiterate the question to someone who might also be in the room, and they happen to answer?
The only friend
without
you can
thinking.
phone. The only friend you can phone is me.
And so, like, if I just said approximately with how much pressure per square inch does a shark bite, and if there's someone in the room that might possibly know that answer, and once they finish laughing, they could probably tell me the answer.
I wonder if I know the answer.
Do you know the answer?
100 times. I don't know.
Cindy, 100 times.
I'm sure.
What? 100 you cut out. Sorry.
Cindy says 100.
Oh, so Cindy gets a point, so not Connor.
No, I'm going. Fine, 101. Now it's my question. Now it's mine. She doesn't get the point. It's mine.
You're saying 101 pounds per square inch. Is that your final answer?
That's not where you get it from.
I'm trying to think, because I feel like it's like 40 pounds of pressure. There's the hardest bone in your body is your tibia. I believe that's what it is. The femur. The long bone in your leg. And that one takes like maybe 70 to break, but I know a shark can bite through your bones. And so having a more aggressive bite probably makes sense. And so to make it my own, I'm going to say 101.
You're going to say 101
yes
pounds per square inch. Okay. That is incorrect.
Cool.
So you definitely lose. Amber, are you able to steal? If not, I can explain.
Honestly, I don't remember. Is it higher or lower?
Way higher.
Okay, so I want to say that it's like 500 to 700. Somewhere around there. Is that close? This is a 4 point. Just no more.
Oh, way more.
Okay, I don't know.
Okay. A shark can actually produce about 40,000 pounds of pressure per square inch. Yeah. Their bite can produce 40,000 pounds. And obviously, that's probably the bigger sharks, like the great whites. But yeah.
That's pretty wild.
40,000 pounds.
No pressure. Yes. So think of like your car tire. Your car tire only has like 30-ish pounds of pressure, like per square inch. Like that's an insane amount. Like you were talking about the amount to like that's like you know the thing where like you could bite your finger off just like a baby carrot.
Yeah.
If you didn't have like everything screaming in your body to not do that. Like that's like they're just biting through limbs with no problem.
Well, it's because it's not their own.
Yeah, but it's crazy to me. They're biting limbs off like baby carrots.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, but that concludes our quiz. Our quiz Shark Week with Jason Momoa. Amber, congratulations, you won. Your first time ever being on the podcast. And guess what, Connor? You lose, sucker.
Did you know that you always see your nose? Your brain just starts to ignore it after a while because it gets in the way.
That's crazy.
I just had to prove that I do know things, and it's just like I do know things. The quiz might not lead you to believe that, but I do know things.
No, I know that.
Maybe keep that in mind, Connor. Maybe keep that in mind next time I take a quiz and fail miserably.
Yeah, you mean the food quiz where you didn't get a single question correct?
Hey now.
The vegan? Was it a vegan quiz?
Some people are, you know what? Amber, you had a topic for this week prepared. What was your topic?
Actually, the topic was Shark Week.
Good. I want to hear all about it. I want to hear what you got.
So I have notes because I tend to forget my talking points because of ADHD and just forgetting things. So
preach it.
Shark Week. Shark Week was actually came up with people, the executives of Discovery Channel came up with Shark Week. I guess they were at a bar and they were trying to figure out new and exciting things to do for a show. And someone had said, "Hey, how about Shark Week?" And I guess they scribbled it down on a napkin. So that was pretty cool. And
like all great ideas, scribbled on a napkin.
Glass onion style.
Yeah. Or Elvis's contract.
Yeah.
And the very first episode actually aired July 17th, 1988.
Ooh,
that's Shark Week has been around for, I said 20 years at the beginning of the episode, but
that's 40 years.
Yeah.
Dang. I didn't realize it had been around that long. Obviously,
it's almost 40 years. I think it's 35th year, I think, is this year.
Mm-hmm.
I have obviously not been alive since it started airing. I was 10 years. I was negative 10 years old. I wasn't even thought of.
It was 10 years old when we were born.
Yeah, which is just insane to think about. But that's crazy that it's been going on that long.
I know.
I didn't know it was going on that long. That's new information. I like that.
Yeah. Also, some of the other inspirations for coming up with Shark Week were because of the movie Jaws, because it had created such panic. People who watched the movie when it came out in theaters, it caused mass hysteria, people being afraid of sharks, great white sharks, and then caused a lot of killing of sharks over I don't know. They were just wanting to eliminate man-eating sharks is what they figured.
Yeah.
And so they wanted to kind of spark a Shark Week, the people who created Shark Week wanted to kind of give a new side of sharks and kind of teach people hey, they're not man-eaters. They might mistake you for things, but kind of give shark a better name. But it did bring in a lot of revenue. Because of it sparked people's interest in sharks and wanting to learn about sharks.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because you are the one with the doctoral degree in sharks here. But most shark attacks will happen against surfers because sharks actually mistake them for turtles, correct?
So, not necessarily. A lot of shark attacks happen in actually Florida is the shark attack capital of the world, basically. I don't know what the ratio is for people being attacked, if it's people just in the water or surfing. I don't know exactly. But I do know a lot of shark attacks happen for mistaken identity. Seal, turtle, just so if the surfers are being attacked, it is probably a case of mistaken identity.
Now, are you more likely to be attacked by a shark in the water or on land?
Well, probably on land. The land sharks are pretty vicious.
Yeah, that's actually a really good brand of beer. Sorry, I got distracted.
No, that's what I was.
See, you both thought that, and I immediately went, Garchomp.
Garchomp? Gibble, little Gibble over there, munching on
land
people.
Shark.
One of my favorite land sharks is the one from DC Comics.
It's Marvel Comics.
Is it Marvel?
Mm-hmm.
You're right. King what's his face?
Are you talking about King Shark or the cute little chibi shark?
I was thinking the cute little one, and that's why I thought it was DC. It's definitely Marvel. King Shark is the DC Comics one. I was talking about the Marvel guy. A little cute. He's so cute. He's tiny. Oh yeah,
he's
shark.
Adorable.
He's tiny little shark.
Tiny shark that act like puppy.
Yeah.
Is the DC one? Is that the one that played in Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Voiced by Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a fun fact, just because this is something I learned from Shark Week. If I don't know where you were going with your topic here, but just to add to it, you are more likely to be killed by a vending machine than you are a shark. So like
That's wild.
the idea that you were saying that Shark Week was used to help dispel a lot of myths about sharks is that there's not a inherent risk of shark.
I actually think I read somewhere that you're more likely to be killed by lightning and a cow than you are to get killed by a shark, which is wild.
Do you know why cows are so deadly?
Because they're back kicks, I assume.
Well, that and tornadoes.
Yeah, I could see that.
Tornadoes will just pick up livestock and then just spit it out. Yeah.
That's so cool. That's so awesome.
And then they like fall and then you got ground beef.
So do you know what led
Is even your mom saying that was a terrible joke?
She says she disowns me.
That's fair. Sorry, Amber. What were you
No,
saying?
you're good. So do you know what actually inspired the author of Jaws? What event?
The Titanic.
No. Close,
I do remember there
no.
was something, but I don't remember what it was.
It was actually Shark Week aired an episode called, I think it was 1916 Shark Attack, or so, I don't know. But it was an event that happened in New Jersey where a bull shark attacked somebody at the beach, and then it swam up a river and attacked a business guy. I don't remember how many people died or if there was any deaths. But then it actually attacked like 2 more times up the river.
Aren't bull sharks one of the ones that are like they can be freshwater or saltwater sharks, and that's why it was just like going up a river and launching on people, which is so cool but so terrible.
Yeah. Actually they can't live there permanently, but they can out of any shark species, because none of the other ones so their bodies have so much salt, and so when you have a body that's made up of salt and you enter fresh water or water that does not have salt, it actually, your body starts absorbing all of this water. Something to do with like how on a molecular level.
Osmosis.
Yes, thank you. I'm like, I know the word, I just couldn't think of it.
Osmosis Jones.
Right.
The only reason Connor knows that at all.
The only cop I respect.
Right? No. That it actually, if they stayed in there too long, it could actually cause them to explode.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's horrible. I love sharks, but that's awesome.
Yeah,
it's
they
really
did.
Cool. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying they just did an experiment where they showed you where they salted an egg and they stuck it in water and they watched it being absorbed. So that was it.
I was actually going to bring up that experiment. We did that in biology class in high school because we were talking about osmosis, and there. Oh no, this one's actually kind of sad. Maybe I don't bring that up. Yeah, I'll cut it out if it's too much. So there was this radio station that held a contest called "Hold Your Wee for a Wee," and like everyone drank like 10 gallons of water, like an insane amount of water, and like hold your pee for as long as you can. And if you hold, like whoever holds it the longest wins a wee. Well, this lady, I think it was like 10 or 12 hours she held it, and like she won, and she got home and she died from overhydration. So it's like hyperhydration, because her cells literally took on too much water through osmosis and began exploding.
Yeah.
And so to describe that to us, my teacher did the egg experiment.
That's so sad. She didn't even get to use the Wii.
Yeah, but her 10-year-old son did, so it's okay.
Lucky duck.
Oh, that went dark.
Well, I have a fun way to lighten it up. Unless you have anything else that you want to bring up about Shark Week.
No, we've pretty much covered everything.
For any fellow shark experts like yourself out there, Shark Week begins tonight, correct?
Yes, at 8 p.m.
On the Discovery Channel, or can we do it on Max as well?
Yes, Max as well.
Awesome.
Oh, sweet. I'm going to be doing that.
They actually have like the highlights right now that you can log in to. If you just type in Shark Week, you can look at all of the highlights from 2000 up to 2020.
Wow, cool.
Which I just was updating myself on information on sharks this week, so that's what I was doing.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for that topic. I really like sharks, and this was fun. My topic this week is definitely on a lighter note. So the Try Guys have a video series called Without a Recipe. And I recently rewatched their episode where they made donuts. And they made a clear distinction that donuts are not a baked good. Because they are not baked, they are fried.
Fried,
Mhm.
And so I was thinking donuts are probably the best you can get to eat in the morning as pastries, right? But I wanted to clarify it then. If we know donuts are the best, what would you say is the best breakfast baked good?
Best breakfast baked good.
Apple fritter.
Apple fritter?
Mm-hmm. Oh, is that fried? Is that considered a donut?
It's fried.
Is it fried?
I'm almost positive it is fried. Yeah.
Okay.
Cindy's saying it's fried.
Okay. Oh,
I got one.
Let's hear it.
Wait,
Croissant. I like croissants. I like those, but I also like Danishes.
Poppy seed muffins.
Scones.
Poppy seed muffin. I don't.
Muffins are good. I love blueberry muffins so much.
I like the orange
cranberry ones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those are the orange cran. Oh man, I love those ones so much.
Have you ever had orange cinnamon rolls?
No.
They're like a normal like cinnamon roll with like the cinnamon sugar, but there's like orange flavoring in the dough, and then you put the cream on top of it and everything. It's very good.
I've had
it
lemon
tastes like
ones.
It's like a cinnamon orange creamsicle.
Ooh,
yeah,
that sounds so good.
I've had lemon cinnamon rolls. They were good.
Yeah, cinnamon rolls.
I think cinnamon rolls would probably be my top one, because like you got this just dense bun that like is beautifully made, honestly, and then you just add sugar on top of that. Like, as a fat man, that's like the best you can get.
I love monkey bread. Have you ever had monkey bread?
Yes.
Oh, monkey bread is good.
Yes.
Monkey bread is so good.
Do you ever make your own monkey bread?
Oh yeah.
How do you get the caramel right? Because I cannot do that.
Is that when you just brown the sugar for that one?
Oh, you brown the sugar? Because I've been putting brown sugar in it.
No, I'm pretty. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking because like for like, so my husband is Mexican, and I know how to make a lot of like Mexican dishes. So what they consider like caramel, like they'll say, "Oh, you put caramel at the bottom," but it's sugar that they cook on stovetop on a low heat until it becomes like a syrupy thing, and then it like you pour it into the pan, and then it hardens. But I don't know. I've never.
Yeah. So this recipe that I'm reading, it actually has white sugar and brown sugar in it. So you combine, so you basically make like a cinnamon sugar mixture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then you drop all of the biscuits, like the biscuit quarters you used to make it, into the cinnamon sugar mix and get those all coated and tasty, because you use butter and all that jazz to get those stuck together. Then you melt 2 sticks of butter and a cup of brown sugar in a saucepan, and then you cook it all up, and then it becomes like a goo, essentially. And then once they mix, you just pour it over the biscuits, and then you bake it, and voila, you have your delicious monkey bread. So you don't actually do the caramelizing on the stove. You literally just combine the brown sugar and the butter.
Oh.
Yeah. Mix it.
And then the oven does it for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the thing where you cook condensed milk until it's brown? Is that also a caramel?
Yeah, that's dulce de leche. No, yeah, dulce de leche, which is just the
Spanish version.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's tasty stuff.
So, since no one has brought up croissants yet, I'm gonna bring those into the discussion.
My whole thing was a croissant. That's what I said.
No one has brought up croissants. I think they're an undervalued.
Yeah, you know what? Well, Odysseus was also called no one at one point in his life, and he was a pretty cool fella. So,
Didn't he die?
yeah, because he was alive like 6 billion years ago. No, duh, he died.
It couldn't be alive 6 billion years ago, Matt. The Earth is only 6,000 years old.
Continue with your dumb buttered croissant.
What about chocolate chip croissants?
Ooh, those are good too.
Arby's used to have these chocolate turnovers, which were basically chocolate croissants that were fire.
Yeah,
like
those are pretty good.
The lamination on them was perfect, which you wouldn't expect from Arby's.
My mom makes turnovers, but she literally just like has bread. She puts the pie filling in. She presses it in like a bread thing, and it like toasts the bread a little bit, and then she just throws them into a vat, like a whole bowl of frosting. Like that's what she does. She just chucks
it's the powdered
in.
sugar. Clarify, it's the powdered sugar frosting.
Yeah, it's literally just like powdered sugar, milk or water. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember what it is either.
But she like mixes that up, and it's literally just like drenched, and they're so soggy. But like my dude, they're so good. I love those so much.
That actually you unlocked a memory for me because I completely forgot all about those.
They're so good.
The apples were the best because cherry's gross.
Oh, gross.
As many memories I have of good cinnamon rolls, I think like croissants are a very close second, just because of like how much my family eats them. Because I think we talked about during like the Christmas episodes, Matt, that we have them with every holiday meal. And so like they're just the Pillsbury ones specifically are just such a huge part of our like breakfast traditions with holidays.
I don't like the super dense croissants. Like you can make croissants wrong. If they're super dense, they're not buttery, they're not flaky, they're just gross. Like I hate dense foods. So dense croissants are gross, but like super light, fluffy, flaky croissants, top tier.
Top tier croissants, you got Pillsbury. That's a very good croissant. Because it's not too dense. You get that airiness that you want from the lamination process and all of that. Then you got the croissants that they use at Dunkin' Donuts for their breakfast croissant sandwich.
Good stuff.
Sometimes it's too flaky, but it's also like you want a flaky croissant in the morning. Like,
yeah.
Just your thickest Boston accent going, you want a flaky croissant. Like like you feel that when you take a bite.
Yeah.
And the best ones are the ones from Sam's Club.
Oh,
because they're like your hands are slippery afterwards because of how much butter is on those croissants, and like they're always moist. It doesn't matter how long they've been sitting out; they're not dry. Like they're fantastic.
Surprisingly, Walmart has decent croissants. The individual packaged ones, they actually are really decent. If you're ever in a hunger for a croissant that you don't want to buy a whole box of croissants.
I don't know if that surprises me because I think Walmart and Sam's Club are the same company.
It is.
And so if they're probably sharing recipes on croissant.
Probably. But
well, there you have it, folks. There you have it, folks. The best baked foods. Best baked foods and where you can get them.
Best baked breakfast food.
You know where you can get us? On our YouTube and Instagram and our TikTok, baby. We have channels. Isn't that great? I'm trying to end the episode without ending the episode,
Did you not have a topic?
Oh no, I don't have a topic. No, I spent all my energy coming up with that quiz.
Oh, okay.
And I have to work tomorrow, so it's gonna be it.
Do you want me to do the outro then? Because that was pitiful.
Great. No, it was so good. What are you talking about? Yeah,
let me show you how it's done. Ready? Thank you for listening to this week's episode of The Garlic Boys. If you'd like more from us, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. If you'd like to support the show, you can support us at patreon.com/@thegarlicboys. Our lowest tier is $3 a month. And like I said, we are uploading extra clips from last week's episode that were unused. And so if you'd like to catch that, and as well as other exclusive Patreon content, subscribe to that and get those amenities. If you'd like to watch the video versions of this show, which I think you should, especially to see this wonderful photo of Matt, you can find those on youtube.com/@thegarlicboys. Those go live every Wednesday at noon. As an avid listener, Amber, you know recently we have been doing the supplementary mom report. Are there any mom that you would like to shout out this week?
I don't know. Yeah, no, you already said it. I was gonna say Bob's Burgers, Linda. No, she's like top tier good mom.
She is. You know, you have like 3 moms, right?
Me?
Yeah.
I have 2.
Well, you got Javier's mom too.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let me. I totally forgot about that. I'm pulling them out.
All right, Javier's mom-in-law. I'm gonna
would you
tell
like me to cut out the Linda Belcher bit, and
yes,
then you can be like,
just read
"Oh yeah,
that?
Javier's mom is such a great mom."
The only mom I can think of. The only mom I could think of this entire time.
My first thought, if I'm talking about great moms, is Javier's mom.
All right.
Okay, let's rewind it. Wait, what is that?
Action.
So I would. Oh, okay. Take 2.
I mean 3.
Amber, hey Matt, shut up. As an
how
avid
about
listener,
you shut up?
As an avid listener of the show, you probably know something we've been doing recently is the supplementary mom report. Is there a mom that you'd like to shout out this week?
Yeah, there's actually 2. So I'd like to shout out Javier's mom, Lupe. She's so amazing and literally the most wonderful cook. And then I'd also like to shout out my biological mom, Doreen, and she's an amazing mom too.
2 supplemental reports to her supplemental report for those of you who don't know. First of all, Amber is married to a guy named Javier. That's the Javier she is referencing.
Javier Bardem, yeah.
Javier Bard. And 2,
dude, neither of you know who Javier Bardem is?
No,
isn't he? No, isn't he he plays in Pirates of the Caribbean as what is that? I don't remember his character, but doesn't he play in that? And he also is a singer.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
I know he's in Pirates of the Caribbean. I can't remember his character either. He plays DJ from The Last Jedi, the dude they go to the casino planet to get. I understand if you don't remember that because that's a bad part of the movie. He's one of the Bond villains in one of the newer Daniel Craig Bonds that is also Judi Dench's character's son, and he's the star of No Country for Old Men.
Okay.
And the second thing is I was going to say about Amber's supplemental report. She is adopted. 4 of my 6 sisters are adopted. So I didn't know if the listeners knew that.
I'm adopted?
Just wanted to clarify. You literally said your biological mom.
Why would you make this as the time to tell her she's adopted, Matt?
Amber,
my life's a lie.
You're adopted.
No, everybody always said we look so much alike.
They did.
You do weirdly look alike. I honestly didn't know until this moment that you were adopted.
She has been seen as my mother.
Yeah, that was
as
weird.
A biological sister. Like it was. People are shocked whenever they say it. Like Jenny and I are very different looking, but you and I, yeah,
it's because we got the pinky undertones. You
Pinky
can't.
in the brain.
I have
Absolutely.
makeup on, so you can't see it, but I am
Wait,
very
what?
pink.
Yeah, no,
Pinky.
that definitely. You can see it in me. I'm just all pink all the time.
Yeah, it'd be weird if you wore makeup. Not
That's
weird, but it would just weird to not see you pink, like you're getting over a sunburn.
That's fair. My supplemental mom report. Jason Momoa's mom, because she brought us a national treasure, and he's without her, he would not be hosting
Aquaman?
the Shark Week, and he wouldn't be Aquaman. So pretty great that thing she did. How about you, Connor?
My supplemental mom report. So let me take you on the trip of how I got to Miss Benson from iCarly. So, Amber did the Dr. Evil pinky, and so then I was gonna say the woman he hooks up with to have
Kevin.
Junior Frau something, and I was like, oh, I can't remember her name. Oh, she was a teacher on iCarly. Well, we don't know Carly's mom. Freddie has a mom, Mrs. Benson.
Oh
You know what though?
She's a terrible mom.
No,
she
she's a
was
helicopter mom.
She
Okay.
cared so much for Freddie, and just
Bit
in the
too
wrong
much.
ways.
Yeah.
Yes, it became unhealthy the ways that she was showing it, but her heart was in the right place. Just her actions were not
That's fair.
correct.
And she's a lovely step grandmother to Freddie's daughter in the new series.
I haven't watched a new series except for the first episode, so I haven't seen that. So maybe I was a little too harsh. About it.
I only saw the first episode too.
Nice.
I watched the whole first season, but then I think I don't
Speaking
think I've
of,
started second season yet.
of shows that have come back, sorry about
Go
this,
for it.
but Zoe 101 is having a movie, Zoe 102.
So we talked about this last week, and we're not like great fans of
Road.
Jamie Lee Spears
No, nobody
anymore.
is. Nobody is.
Nobody is, but the show was so good.
But I'm not saying I'm gonna watch it, but it was just like the nostalgia of it for like a half a second. I'm like, bro, that was like our childhood watching that.
Yeah.
I will say that I saw a commercial for it, and it was like Quinn walking in a wedding dress.
Yeah.
And I didn't recognize her.
Yeah.
Because like I know she was on Big Time Rush, and like I think that's like how I see her now. So it's weird to see her as Zoe 101. But she also just looks so different from Big Time Rush to now.
Yeah, absolutely. So Connor, do you have any final thoughts?
I don't know if we discussed this enough, but everyone should know that birds aren't real. In 1987, all the birds died, and Ronald Reagan replaced them with spies. And so anytime you see a bird, it's actually just a spy camera for the government.
That makes sense.
Amber, any final thoughts?
No, just watch Shark Week.
Heck yeah, watch
Connor.
Shark Week.
Sorry, I think my mom has a final thought.
Oh, yes, Cindy, please.
She says that Matt's not a good friend.
Thank you for listening to the Garlic Boys, and remember, as always,
That knows me better than all.
Try to do the outro.
remember, as always, to stay garlicky.
She says you know her better than that.
I do. I know Cindy on a spiritual level.